Yeah, I always tell guests to switch to landscape mode. It is the must first thing that anyone should do. So, welcome, Arm Wrestling fans. I'm Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News. And as you can see, our guest for the second time, very special, Artem Taranenko from Top Roll King Productions. How are you doing, brother?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing good, Pradeep. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Uploading about 2 videos every day. You usually
Hey,
I was the one who's doing 2 videos a week, maybe 3 videos a week, and right now 1 to 2 videos every day. Channel is doing great. So let me briefly explain to our viewers the topics that we are going to cover today. So first of all, we will be discussing about your book. Yes, Artem has recently launched a new arm wrestling book. You should purchase it. He'll explain it why you should purchase it. And second, Ermes Gasparini recently gave his top 5 world rankings right-handed. I made a video about it, but I'll take Artem's opinion about it as well. And third, Evan Bourgoin out of East versus West event due to COVID, and new opponent is Herman Stevens. So these are the topics that we're going to discuss today. Artem, starting with your book, what is the name and where can we buy it and why should we buy it? Everything. I want to know.
so the name. I asked the best. So the book. I mean, there's a lot to be said about the book, right? From to answer this question, but idea of the book is all about shooting. It's the whole Bible of shooting and arm wrestling, kind of going
Artem,
heavy.
sorry,
It
sorry, sorry.
explains heavy. Mm.
Wait, as soon as you started explaining about the book, you froze for a second. So can you please restart?
My bad. All right. So, okay. The book. The book is basically is a literal Bible of cheating. We're talking about cheating, and we're basically exploring that side of things in a way nobody talks about it, right? We talk about falls, we talk about this and that. We actually like going fully and discussing all those things nobody ever discusses and talks about it. Like it's an actual strategy. Like let's not like, hey, you should do this. Yeah. It's actually like, hey, if you wanna if you wanna win this or this is what you should do. This is how you do it. And so it's some people might not accept it, but it's really good read. It's fun. The name of the book, as I said, the book is pretty much a collective effort from a lot of people. I got the idea, but I've messaged a lot of people to help me. Obviously, is the way I speak and write with editing, grammar, thoughts, all types of stuff. So Ryan Bowen was responsible for the things he does best, and that's not being delusional. That's mean titles and thumbnails. And I asked Ryan to pick a title, and the whole title is actually his idea. But the book called "The Art of Arm Wrestling" and subtitle is "How to Win Matches and Influence Referees." However, my first book, I came out with a book a couple years ago. It was a photography book of all the cool shots and maybe exclusive shots that I've made with Michael Todd and Rebecca on the cover. And I also called it the art of arm wrestling. So it shows you how our creativity works. I mean, both of the things are art of arm wrestling, but it's kind of funny. I'm glad there's not a copyright issue really. But so the book is available. The book's called The Art of Arm Wrestling. It's all about cheating. It's not exactly a book to excel in arm wrestling. Me and Todd discussed that, right? There's training path, there's a cheating path. And for you to be an excellent arm wrestler, you need to consider them both. So it's still a great buy, in my opinion. It's still a great read. So you can take important notes from that, either to do them yourself or protect yourself, because there are a lot of cool stuff we're actually talking about. And the book is available on Amazon, actually. And you can go ahead, put, The Art of Arm Wrestling, and it should pop up either first or like second book. So
Link in
they
the
have not.
description.
It's pretty. It's the first time you're kind of officially promoting it here. So Pradeep, you got the first dibs pretty much, because I'm waiting to get my hard copy so I can show it and I can look at it myself. Then I'll heavily start promoting it myself. But it's cool. Like you see people still purchasing it. We kind of there's some motion going, and it's good to see. And not that many people actually wrote a book on arm wrestling before, as far as like the whole process, the book, the uploading it, publishing it somewhere, kind of a. So it was nice to maybe not really pave the path, but kind of see how it's done. So if anybody a lot smarter than me wants to do something like that, I have experience and I can share with them. So it was a cool project, and we're gonna see how it's gonna turn out financially.
Like approximately how many pages and how many chapters or divisions, something like
Well,
that?
there's many chapters because the whole book is basically going one by one of all the little things that arm wrestlers do, and kind of explains why and how and what. I think hard copy, if you order it as a paperback, it's about 34, 35 pages. I think if you buy an ebook or like a Kindle, whatever you're using, like online PDF file, is a little less than that, like 20 something. So, but it's all formatted. Like it's about like 4,000 to 5,000 words. It's not super big. It's a good read. Like it's not really me like telling how great I am. From everybody that I sent to, everybody agreed it's a good and easy read because I guess I'm a natural writer. If you fix my grammar, I'm a really good writer. So, and people enjoyed it. So it's a good, fast read, definitely, and definitely entertains yourself. So it's a definitely solid buy. You don't
So
have to if unless you're Devon Larratt. I sent my book to Devon Larratt and I asked him to read it and give me a comment, and mix after mix after mix. I'm like, hey Devon, I didn't like you don't have to read it. Run by it. Let me know what you think. And Devon ended up giving me like a reply of like, hey man, I don't know how to read, but this is a great book. If you write it, everybody should buy it. You're my favorite Russian arm wrestler, maybe besides Vitaly, and maybe if Yekaterina Nikisheva is in there too, then I'm like bumping all the way to third. I'll make Devon read it too.
So Amazon, Kindle, anyone can download it. It is clear. But who is taking care of the publications and who will ship the book when people order it? International shipping.
Amazon does the whole Amazon publishing it. Amazon, everything goes through Amazon. So I don't do anything. Literally, once you go and order, I don't see the books. I don't see it's Amazon is self-publishing is the whole thing. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not taking the probably the fattest, the most profits, really. If I were to like upload it on my Teespring and sell it as a just an internet, like a PDF file, how I used to do with programs. Like so I'm taking like a hit as far as making it financially, but I think if I'm making it on Amazon and then Amazon prints it for you, it's just so convenient, and I like to get the word out there. So I don't know if it's the best path, but it's a path, and it's so far people should be getting their books like today or tomorrow from very, very first orders. So Amazon Prime and all that. So people should be getting the books today or tomorrow, and we should be start seeing what people think as far as the quality of Amazon publishing goes.
So from what I got, how you explained about the book, it is mainly for the people who are trying to do something at tournaments, who are really putting up their elbows on the arm wrestling table. What about the other 71 percenters? Some of you may not know about the 71 percenters, but Stacy Morgan kind of made a meme out of it. I once created a poll on my channel and I asked, have you ever arm wrestled in a tournament? And 71% people said no, they have never arm wrestled in a tournament. So what about those 71 percenters? What's in it for them?
Well, I see what you're saying. Yeah, right. The book is I see the book is a good read and entertaining enough to where if I said it to read it, you'll probably read it and you'll probably like it. Everybody should like it, and it will shine a lot of light, especially if you're in that 71%. You don't know that some of the things are like a real strategy or like a real thing. Like it's very entertaining. You're probably not getting 100% use out of it if you're not arm wrestling, but as far as entertaining yourself and kind of just, knowing stuff, they could definitely read it. The book is definitely not 100% for everybody, right? It's not going to cover, 2% here, 70 there, 90 there. It's an arm wrestling book. And I feel like if you're an arm wrestler or you're into arm wrestling, you're not going to hurt yourself by not buying it. I think if you buy it and read it, it's definitely worth for everybody, because it's just such a cool knowledge. Like the thing that we're talking about there, the way I'm talking about some things, you'll be like, this guy is a pure scumbag. Because like, people elbow, people false start. Like I'm talking about all of that purposely, why and how, when, and when not to, right? Because I'm also taking the responsibility of like creating a better arm wrestlers. So if I'm creating a bunch of cheating bastards that cannot behave themselves in the tournament, I also don't want to do that. So that's, I'm explaining it in every probable situation type thing, right? And Todd Hutchings had his input in there too. So yeah, probably if you're an arm wrestler and you're trying to get better, that book will benefit you more if you're not into the 71% of non-arm wrestlers, people that enjoy arm, never competed before. But however, if you never did, I'll also probably say it's a good book. The reason why I know that, people that edited that book are not arm wrestlers. Some of them are, but like, my girlfriend, probably my wife, is that 71%. My wife knows probably just as many names as you, Pradeep, right? She is definitely in it because she lives there, but she doesn't arm wrestle. She doesn't know many things. She was laughing. She was laughing half of the book because, like, I'm funny. So there's the way it's written, it's just easily understandable. And I'm not trying to sell it. If you're not an arm wrestler, and like if you're Stacey Morgan, well, Stacey Morgan used to be my patron. So if you're not an arm wrestler and you're like, bro, I will never want to spend $25 to buy your book, just let me know. I'll send you a free copy, and you let me know if it's the most readable and entertaining to you, because I feel like it should be. But you're definitely going to benefit more if you're competing, for sure.
Yeah, even for the 71%ers, Artem, I would say at some point in their life, because they're into arm wrestling, they're watching arm wrestling, they are going to compete, whether it is with family members or in their school, in colleges. And sometimes beating everyone in your workplace, at your job, can be as high of achievement as winning a state title. That really makes people happy, and it should. So maybe people can get benefited from it. So I think something for
Yeah, for
everyone.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Everybody. Yeah.
And I'm personally someone who hates like messing up in the setups, elbow fouls, cheating. I personally hate that stuff, but I also know that if the other guy is doing that and the referee is not saying anything to him, it is my job to learn those things also. I'm not just quitting in
Yeah.
front of him or walking away from the tournament, because that would give me a permanent bad image in the arm wrestling community if I just walk away because the other guy is cheating. So I too need to learn that if you're living in a place where everyone is doing that and you're not doing that because you don't like it, you're missing out on many things. So I think it is for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Todd discussed that book so many times because the book originally was built on building opposite theory of his excellence, but as me and him talked, and he told me like about time of the book and how, and like, okay, it kind of came to rephrasing and came to the idea that like you just simply, that book is not going to make you the best arm wrestler out there, and it's not intended to, but you kind of have to, not to everybody have to read it, but in ideal world you will want to know about all those things for sure, to either, as you said, know about them and protect yourself, or do them, or or if you're a referee, you want to know all the things too, because there's a lot of slick stuff I'm talking about that, as I said, some people will not consider it a strategy, but me and a couple other guys will talk about it before the tournament, like, hey, this is what we're going to do, and somehow we will win the tournament collectively, right? As a couple group of people, which is like, you don't do that in arm wrestling, but it happens because that's what we do. So yeah, you got the idea for sure.
Right.
Well, how about this? How about this? Because I know, Pradeep, you're the most honest person. I told I told Coach Ray, and I'm like, yo, I cannot wait for Pradeep's prediction of our match so he can say that I'm weak. But I'm gonna send you the book. I don't know if you're gonna like it or you want to pay for that, but I will try to send it to you for free so you can give me your honest video review and you tell everybody if it's garbage or not.
Sure. Guys, link will be in the description, and Artem, hope the referees that you're going to be competing when they are reffing the match, you should hope they do not read that book. Otherwise, they are going to catch all your...
They should. They will make those matches so much better for the other opponent. They should read the book. I'm all about that. It'll make me better arm wrestler because I'll shoot so much better.
All right, guys, link will be in the description. Please buy the book. And let's move on to the second topic now. Did you watch Ermes Gasparini's top 5 rating on Engin Terzi's channel?
I'll be honest, I did not. I know you made a video on it and you talked about it. And so, no, I'm not too familiar with the subject.
So I'll remind you, number 1, Levan. Number 2, Alex Kordecha. Number 3, Vitali. Number 4, Dave. Number 5, he's about Dave Chaffee. He said Dave could be number 4 or 5. And about Devon and himself, Ermes said that we could be 5 or 6. This is what Ermes said. No Michael Todd and Dave Chaffee above Devon. This is what everyone is saying. When Michael Todd and Devon defeated Dave, why is he at 4? So coming from top to down. Levan, do you agree with that? Number 1.
Yeah, Levan can stay there. Yes. Yeah,
and number 2, Alex Kordecha.
This is where it gets funny because that's more Kordecha is good, right? Alex is good, but he have not beaten the people that kind of like strongly on that number 2, number 3 spot, right? Like we have the guys like, I mean, like the guys that like from 3 to 5 that you name, they kind of been to the 2nd, 3rd spot. Alex is the guy that's currently climbing the rankings very fastly and beating everybody, and he has great wins, but I don't think he should be that number 2 guy. Like I think it's a little too early. I'm not saying that. I think it's way too predicted, right? It's not too accurate. Like how's he? I guess he's like clearly the guy that's been beating everybody, right?
You froze for last 10-15 seconds. 10 seconds, I would say.
Gotcha. Well, my last 10 seconds were some frustration. Like, how is he above Vitali? Because Vitali seems to be like strongly that number 2 guy because he actually been more active as far as beating those guys that like we assume in top 3. Alex is great, but I think it's a little too early. Like, I'll throw him like a number 5 if he needs to be in there, but not number 2, right? Like number 2 guys, Vitali, Devon, everybody that thinks they get a shot of the barn, right? Sabin Badalescu, number 2, right? If Alex is willing to go fight Levan and he thinks he can beat Vitali and all them, then yeah, but I think it's a little too early for Alex to be in that number 2 spot. Number 4, number 5, if that's,
that match has been... So PL announced that match, Vitali versus Alex, on April 2nd. So if that happens, we get to see that match, then we can make more assumptions.
Yeah, then we can predict. Then, hold on.
Oop, where did Artem go? So I was saying that I also think at number 2, Alex, yet he does not deserve to be there because he has not defeated anyone who is in the top 10 except for one, Ermes Gasparini. Ermes is right now ranked 8th. Before that, he could have been, in my opinion, Artem is coming back, 6th or 7th. So defeating a 6th or 7th guy does not automatically take you to number 2nd spot. This is my opinion. Yeah, Artem, I was saying that Alex has only defeated Vitali, who is right now number 8th. I don't know what he was before he lost to Alex. Before that, let's assume he was 6 or 7. So defeating a 6 or 7 ranked guy does not automatically take you to number 2. He has not defeated anyone else in the top 10, if I remember correctly. So yes. Yeah, number 2 is kind of messy. And number 3, Vitali. He should have been number 2 in your opinion.
Yeah, Vitaly is strong number 2 to where like he should be going beating like Devon and go ahead and pull Levan again. Like he's already been there. He's a strong assumed number 2 spot.
And we're not saying that Alex cannot get there. He can definitely get there. Maybe
No.
as
I love Alex. Yeah, no.
yeah, maybe he can get there by the end of this year. Who knows? But right now we are saying he has not done enough to be on that spot.
Yeah, no, clearly. I think clearly because like we have Vitaly still. I think Vitaly is the strongest like assumed number 2 spot if you don't want to make a mistake.
So he ranked Dave Chaffee at number 4. Is Dave in your top 5?
No, I don't think Dave should be there. No, like Dave struggles is like Michael and Devon. Yeah, rules and all that. Uh, let's let them repull in strict rules. I'm assuming Devon, for example, will beat Dave in strict rules right now too. So, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think Dave should be in that. No.
Yeah, I was also thinking the same, and maybe to many people it may sound disrespectful, king's move or lose rules or whatever. Dave chose to compete under those rules. He knew it was coming, and basically in WL he pinned himself 6 times in a row against Michael and Devon. He pinned himself 6 times in a row. Against Devon, he was lifting his elbow, sliding it intentionally back of the pad. I count it as pinning yourself. So again, against Levan, he lost 6-0. So out of last 12 rounds, he has won only 1 round. And that was also, if we listen to Neil Pickup, was a false start. The 1 round he got against Devon. So yeah, I do agree.
And Dave, I think Dave knows it. Dave is probably honest and with himself enough to where like he just needs to prove himself in the rules that maybe he will like, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think Dave is in there according to his losses currently, right? Like he legitimately did lose those matches. We cannot put him somewhere just because we think he will win those matches in the rules. But we have to see them first. We do have those matches happening. Just because you guys don't like how the results are. The results. That's kind of, you don't sign up, as you said, you don't sign up for a match you don't know the rules for.
Yeah. And I'm going to make a video about this because since the 2019 match Dave and Devon happened, till now, almost under all of my videos, I'm constantly getting comments about whether Devon could beat Dave under strict rules or not. And I'm so surprised to see that the the whole European community, arm wrestling community, has insane, mad levels of respect for Dave Chaffee. Huge, even more than John Brasink.
Yeah, because
zero for Devon.
Because Dave has a great image to be like an Eastern European like idol, right? He doesn't talk trash. He has a beautiful beard. He arm wrestles normally. He doesn't go under. He doesn't talk trash. You see nothing but a humble human being as far as like the overall image goes. So yeah, I can totally see that.
And finally, talking about Evan Bourgoin out of East versus West, not pulling Schoolboy anymore. What do you have to say about that after all of the hype that he's going to beat Schoolboy? He's a schoolgirl, school bitch, everything he said. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I never watched what Evan was saying, right? Because it's almost, to me, it was a little irrelevant because to me, like, he was going to lose to Schoolboy anyway. So all the yappity trash talk was just kind of putting him down. Well, it's Evan Bourgoin, right? Evan doesn't really care. Evan has his own image to protect. I think in overall public perception, he was probably like putting himself down more because he was kind of an underdog for the most people's opinion, unless you're from that club and you know something they don't. So yeah, it's unfortunate because it probably could have been, as Alex said this morning, there could have been a great compilation of delusional Evan if Schoolboy would have beaten him, and we could have seen that. However, with Herman's replacement, it's pretty terrible replacement because it's hard. Like, we want Schoolboy to pull certain problem names, right? People want to see Schoolboy pull people. I don't know. I don't think Herman is that guy. Herman's probably stronger and better than Evan, in my opinion. So it's a better match, arm wrestler to arm wrestler. As far as like, marking, I don't want to see that match. I think Schoolboy wins it regardless, and I'm just not interested in when people want to see Schoolboy win some crazy shit, and Herman is Herman is a great arm wrestler, but he is not that hype guy you want to Schoolboy. Right? You want to see Herman with some great middleweights, for example, right? And you want to see a Schoolboy with some hype guy, I think. So it's a better match, maybe from arm wrestler to arm wrestler perspective. As far as getting interested in it, whatever.
I also made a video about it a couple of hours ago, and I also said that Schoolboy is going to win that match. And because first of all, Herman did not get much notice to prepare for this, and I don't see Herman as a guy who trains throughout the year, regardless whether he's having a match or not. Yeah. Has Herman Stevens and Evan Bourgoin ever faced each other? Are you aware of that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
But
if they had, it could have been some older tournaments, probably, because Herman's been arm wrestling for a bunch. I will not be surprised.
If you were to guess, who wins in that match?
Right
Herman
now?
versus Herman versus
Herman wins that match, both hands.
Okay, so it means that this is going to be a closer match than Schoolboy versus
yes.
Evan.
That's what I'm saying. Better match. It's not a good match from getting our interest in, I think.
So one more thing, everyone is saying that Evan Bourgoin is intentionally backing off the match, and he's the third American to do that. Number one is Cody Merritt. Number two, Marcio Barboza, who got COVID about a month and a half before the event, and he still backed out of the match. And now Evan Bourgoin, who last week said that he got COVID about a month ago. How can he get COVID once again after one more month?
I don't think that. I think nobody really wants to go and get COVID. Nobody really wants to. It's fun. I felt like shit, and I tested negative. So those tests works in a funny way. So maybe he did, maybe he not. So all we know that he probably tested positive, and now he can't come. So I doubt that. I'm thinking from a logic standpoint. Like, I don't think it's logical way to think that that's the way to cancel a match. No, I don't think that's the case. If he got COVID, he got COVID. He can't come.
Yeah, it was too big of an opportunity for him. Even if he lost, I was saying that in my video that if he lost, if Schoolboy won, the video on their channel could get 15-20 million views. And if Schoolboy lost, if Evan won that match, then the video will not be as much popular because Schoolboy's fans will not enjoy that video that much. So it was a really good opportunity for for Evan to build a brand for himself. And I somehow kind of doubt that he would let it go just like that. So Herman Stevens, you're saying that Schoolboy is going to beat him.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to discuss. Artem, anything else that you would like to add before we end this interview?
Nope. I guess my regular message to everybody, be kind, be blessed, make sure to buy the book. If you don't like me, or you don't like the book, or you don't like reading, message me. I'll send you a free book just so I can prove you wrong. And that's it. Yeah. Thanks everybody for having me. Please like and subscribe to Pradeep and me. And that's it. That's all I have.
Artem's channel link in the description, book link in the description, East versus West pay-per-view in the description. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Bye, Artem.
Bye, everybody.